Hello, YouTubes. I wanted to do a little bit of a rant about mindset and money. So, about a month ago, maybe a month and a few days, I was in a situation, and I've been in a situation where finances have been quite tight after going through a big life transition, separation and stuff like that. And I was just saying, I'm going to start finding money. And it was like an awareness that I was, thinking I'm going to, keep my eyes open. And I partly learned that from my son who's just turned 10, because he finds money everywhere he goes. Not just money, but random things, that he finds interesting. And so the next day after I said that, I found £5. And I was like, wow, that's really cool, because it was right in front of my path. And it was just like, okay, it's, I found that amount many, many years ago. I found $10 before in the States. I was I think the most was $10. And so I thought, oh, that's great, and I kind of forgot about it after a couple of days. But then maybe 2 weeks later, I remembered it, and I was pulling into all these car park or parking lot, and I said I'm going to find money. And 20 seconds later, stepped out of the car and found £1, which is like $1.30 or something like that. So I was just like, haha, that's funny, cool that it happened again. But I kept visualizing like £20, a £20 note, which is, $25, $26. And I kept like imagining seeing it, not like for long periods of time imagining, but it would kind of be in my mind and just think about finding it on the ground. And yesterday, when I stepped out of the door at work, it was like lying right in front of me, soaking wet. And I was just like, what? Yes, because I'd had that awareness. And even if, in the last few weeks, if I'd seen paper on the ground, I'd look to see, is it money? And so I was really excited about that. I was like, this is amazing, because you'd read stuff about the law of attraction and stuff, and I think there's a lot of elements of truth to that, or about money consciousness and just believing that, there is money everywhere. And this is really cool as I'm stepping out and just right now launching my own digital marketing business that I'm profoundly excited about, and the potential is absolutely incredible. It's a big time in my life, and it's really interesting that this money consciousness is kind of coming up. I'm believing that money's everywhere. I think some people think there's a finite amount of money and you can only have a certain piece of the pie, but there is abundance. God is a God of abundance, and He says we can have more than enough. There's no limits to Him, and money is just a tool. It's neither good nor evil. But I posted on Facebook, excited about it, and I got a lot of a lot of likes, and a couple of shocked emoji faces, and a couple of laughing faces. But I also got a couple of people saying, "Oh, why didn't you report that to the police?" And I'm thinking, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, first of all, it was on a Friday night when there's probably a bunch of who knows where the money came from. But people are saying I should have turned it in, and it didn't even occur to me to think about doing that. One, because if I lost money like that, I'd be like, it's gone. It is gone. Like, yeah, there's a tiny percent of chance that somebody would go hand it in, and I don't even know if I would say a good Samaritan, because to me, it's almost like somebody that would be naive that would go hand it in. And I'd rather, if I lost it, I'd hope that somebody found it and got the benefit of it. But it was fascinating to see that, I've posted things on Facebook recently, like a couple of really raw, honest things, saying that I'm had been really struggling and not hearing from people. But people wouldn't respond to that, but they respond about money. It's interesting, isn't it? And saying, yeah, it's probably the right thing to do is to take that back, and I'm just like, what? Like, first of all, who is going to go and claim I lost £20? Possibly. But even, are the cops going to do anything, or are they just going to pocket it? Who knows what they would do? I remember as a child I found a pocket watch with my grandfather, and I handed it in, and a few months later I got it back. But somebody was really harassing me on Facebook, saying, oh, I should, and I would eventually get it back. And I'm just like, can't you just be happy for that I found that, or read what I wrote, that I actually visualized this, and that's what happened? And it was cool because my brother-in-law came to my aid to kind of say, hey, chill out, this is exactly what happened, that it was just interesting. And somebody else said that they instruct their child, if they see money lying on the ground, to not touch it, to leave it, because it's not theirs, it's somebody else's. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, do you think somebody else is going to pick it up? So your kid might as well get the joy. And to me, it's like, what is that teaching your child about money? Like, my children ask me to go to a particular place where there's like, video game machines, so they can find money. And I strongly encourage that because I love it. And I even cut up this slim stick, and I called it the money stick, so they could slide under and get the money. Because I want them to have a money awareness and a money consciousness and a belief that money is everywhere, and that they can go get what they need by looking and working and applying themselves a little bit. That they can do it. And I've done that in little ways all my life, just finding different ways to make money. And it's just interesting because my son finds money, and I couldn't imagine him finding something and me telling him no. When they love that, and to me, like, I'm building little entrepreneurs because I'm putting that mindset in them that they can find money, that they can create money out of their own abilities, and not because of just relying on somebody for a job. Jobs aren't bad, but they sometimes don't teach you to think in a creative way. And of course, I'm in my late 30s, and I'm actually just getting now to the point of having a real proper business. But I think it's just having that money awareness. So it was just interesting to see how people would respond to it, and just realizing the way people view money, or not even happy for you, but just kind of accusing you and questioning your intent and stuff. And I'm thinking, my goodness, if once I start making good income, what's it going to be like then? And I know I was just like, wow, people are going to be jealous if if I'm showing that I have income, or if I have a nice car or certain things, and it's just, wow. Isn't it crazy how people judge people with money, or they say, money is the root of all evil, instead of the love of money is the root of all evil. Anyways, I was just really caught off guard and quite frustrated by that. So that's my rant over. I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts on that. So